What you're doing right now, this very second, is setting off a silent alarm inside your body. Sitting feels harmless, right, comfortable even. But scientists have started calling it the new smoking, and that comparison is terrifyingly accurate. This isn't just about bad posture or gaining a few pounds. This is about a fundamental breakdown of your biology happening in real time. Within minutes of you hitting that chair, a cascade of shutdowns begins that affects your heart, your brain, and even your lifespan. The scariest part isn't the back pain you might feel later. It's what's happening to your blood chemistry right now, while you're static. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how your chair is slowly destroying your health and the specific, non-negotiable movement protocol you need to reverse the damage before it becomes permanent. The moment you sit down, the electrical activity in your leg muscles shuts off almost instantly. This might sound like simple relaxation, but biologically, it's a direct signal to your body to stop processing fuel. Your calorie burning drops to just 1 per minute. But the real problem starts with an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase. This enzyme is crucial. It's responsible for breaking down fat in your bloodstream so your body can use it. When you're standing or walking, this enzyme is highly active. The second you sit, its production plunges by 90%. Think about what that means. You eat a meal, you sit down, and suddenly your body loses its ability to process the fats and sugars from that food effectively. Instead of being used for energy, that fat just stays in your bloodstream. Where does it go? It gets stored in the most dangerous place possible, around your internal organs. This is called visceral fat, and it's the primary driver of metabolic diseases. You might think you're just resting after a meal, but your body is actually hoarding toxic fuel. Now, most people believe that if they go to the gym for an hour after work, they're safe. That they can erase the day's inactivity. That is a dangerous lie. Research has identified a phenomenon called the active couch potato. You can be physically fit, you can run marathons, you can lift heavy weights, and still suffer from all the internal damage of sedentary behavior. If you sit for 8, 9, or 10 hours a day, that 1 hour of exercise cannot undo the metabolic stalling that occurred during the rest of the day. The damage is cumulative, and it's happening on a cellular level that a single treadmill run simply cannot wipe away. As the hours of sitting tick by, the impact moves from your metabolism up to your brain. Your brain is a high-performance engine that requires a massive amount of oxygen and blood flow to function at its peak. Movement acts as a pump, forcing fresh, oxygenated blood up against gravity and into your skull. When you sit, that pump stops working. Blood flow slows down, oxygenation drops. This is why you hit that crushing mental fog around 2 p.m. It's not just your lunch making you tired. Your brain is literally being starved of circulation. Beyond the mental fog, there's a chemical shift happening. Movement triggers the release of mood-enhancing chemicals like serotonin. When you stay sedentary, you starve your brain of these natural stabilizers. This creates a vicious cycle where sitting makes you feel lethargic and anxious, which in turn makes you want to sit even more. You're trapped in a feedback loop created by your own inactivity. But have you ever wondered why your hips feel so tight, even on days you haven't done a single leg workout? Your body is an incredible adaptation machine. It adapts to whatever position you spend the most time in. When you sit, your hip flexors, the muscles at the front of your hips, are held in a shortened position. Over months and years, they literally shorten permanently. This constant shortening pulls your pelvis forward, creating severe compression in your lower back. At the same time, your glute muscles, the largest and most powerful muscle group in your entire body, start to forget how to work. This is a real condition called gluteal amnesia. When your glutes turn off and your hip flexors tighten, your spine is forced to take the entire load. You are effectively reshaping your skeleton into a permanent C shape. The discs in your spine, which rely on the pumping action of movement to absorb nutrients like a sponge, begin to dry out, harden, and crack. You aren't just getting stiff, you are structurally aging your spine decades faster than necessary. But the most critical damage of all happens deep inside, in your pancreas. This is the organ that produces insulin, the hormone responsible for carrying glucose from your blood to your cells for energy. When your muscles are inactive from sitting, they become less responsive to insulin, your pancreas panics. It senses the high blood sugar and starts pumping out more and more insulin to try to force the glucose into your resistant cells. This constant flood of insulin is the direct precursor to type 2 diabetes. This creates a terrifying paradox. You can have completely normal blood sugar levels on a test, but have dangerously high insulin levels lurking underneath, a condition known as hyperinsulinemia, all because you sat still for too long. Your body is in a state of high alert, fighting a battle you didn't even know was happening. So, is the solution to just buy a standing desk and stand for 8 hours a day? Absolutely not. Standing still for prolonged periods is almost as bad as sitting still. It leads to its own set of problems, like varicose veins and joint compression in your knees and hips. The human body wasn't designed to sit, but it also wasn't designed to stand like a statue. It was designed for one thing: to move. The true antidote to the sitting disease isn't more intense exercise. It's the frequency of movement. The magic number, according to the research, is 30. Every 30 minutes, you must break your static posture. This doesn't require a full workout. It just requires a reset. Standing up and walking for just 2 minutes every half hour is enough to restart everything. It triggers that lipoprotein lipase enzyme, reigniting your fat-burning machinery. It restarts the electrical activity in your legs. It flushes the old, deoxygenated blood out of your brain and replaces it with fresh, oxygenated fuel. And most importantly, it resets your insulin sensitivity, giving your pancreas a break. This concept is called non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT. It's the energy you burn just by living your life, not from structured training. And studies show it is the single biggest factor in determining your longevity and metabolic health. You have to start treating movement like hydration. You wouldn't drink a gallon of water first thing in the morning and then nothing for the rest of the day, right? You sit continuously. In the same way, you need to move continuously. Sitting is an inevitable part of modern life for many of us, but it doesn't have to be a death sentence. The real damage doesn't come from sitting itself. It comes from prolonged, uninterrupted stagnation. By simply breaking that cycle every 30 minutes, you keep your enzymes active, your spine lubricated, and your brain oxygenated. You're not just avoiding harm, you are actively promoting health throughout your entire day. If you want to dive deeper into how to optimize your biology and even trick your body into burning more fat while you work, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to cover the specific protocols for desk-bound athletes in our very next video. Thanks for watching.